All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It's another preview. Matches are just coming thick and fast now. It's very difficult to keep in touch with everything, but we do our best. As you can see, Saj is here, and that only means one thing. We've got Man City just around the corner. It'll be very, very good to talk to a Man City fan about this particular fixture. I love getting different perspective. I want to give you guys not just the Chelsea side of things, but fans from opposition, teams to come here and give us their perspective as well. So we'll have a really, really good conversation. Saj, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing very fine, Mizzy. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good to see you, man. Honestly,
Likewise.
obviously, last time we met, after that, we kind of did a madness, and
Yeah, you
here
did.
Here we are. Let's talk from that perspective, and then we'll move into this season. I mean, we won the Champions League. We've done 3 on you guys, 3 back to back. Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League final. I mean, I want to now talk, because I haven't spoken to you since the Champions League final, right? And I don't want to dwell too much, and I don't want to gloat too much about it. But I do want to ask, how did the Manchester City fans and yourself feel after? I mean, did it take a while to sort of get it? Because I feel like you guys were staunch favourites, not just that, but very confident that you were going to get this.
Oh, okay. Champions League final, you got to be confident. Like, there's no 2 ways of going about it. You can't be half-hearted. Chelsea fans were confident. You got to be. It's the Champions League final,
Of course.
I don't see it as 3 losses. I see it as 2 losses and a strategic forfeit in the FA Cup, because we were trying to keep our players sweet for the Champions League final. Obviously,
I like that.
Didn't play out how it should have. Congratulations to you, by the way, and the Chelsea fans. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know if it was just luck, if it was magic. Tuchel had our number. It was just like that final was weird because we didn't play as well as we did, and then Kevin De Bruyne went down. But I can't say that to the point where the first half finished. We were just we were being outplayed. I want to say it was. We were gonna come back, and we could have if Kevin De Bruyne. But you were doing a great job. Your midfield they were pegging us back in certain places.
Defense was solid as well.
Yeah, it was just a hard game. And
what do you think about that shot right at the end when Mahrez hit it, and it felt like, oh my God, I think it's going in.
I won't lie, I really thought, because we did a watch along with Matisse and Dami and Monster, and everyone's heart froze. I was like, please, Lord, maybe, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be.
Fine, fair enough, man. I mean, look, it seemed like obviously it hurt you guys because this is the one trophy you guys badly won, but it kind of felt like with the Premier League victory that you guys, you're winning the title over there. It's sort of you guys, fairly quickly got over it. That okay, fine, it is what it is. We'll move on. We'll move to the next season, and then we'll see what happens. Now let's talk about this season. You guys were chasing Harry Kane so badly. And this brother actually wanted to join you guys. Like, he made it quite public that he wanted to leave. He didn't say Man City, but I think he more or less was saying, just let me go, Spurs. Even at a point where he said that, consider anything around 100 million, because that's what he feels is what he's worth. He even stopped training, didn't show up. Then he tried to make it up by saying, oh, I was just on holidays. No, you missed training, bro. You missed training. That's what happened. I mean, Sash, talk to me about, obviously you guys lost Aguero and you were chasing Harry Kane. You put in a pretty good offer, I feel, somewhere roughly around 150 or maybe, I don't know, about 130 mil or something like that. I personally feel Spurs should have collected in on that, and look at Harry Kane right now, right? So talk to me about that. I mean, not getting Harry Kane, how'd that feel?
It's not that not getting Harry Kane was the worst thing that happened. It's how long this saga took to finally reach its conclusion. It was so long that by the time it was all said and done, we couldn't go and sign anyone else because we spent it's a situation literally almost direct with Man City and Harry Kane and Jules and Haaland. Except you ended up getting Lukaku, but you spent so long, so much of the window trying to acquire the signature of Haaland that if it was just a no within the first 2 weeks between Raiola, upper management at Borussia Dortmund, then that would have been clean. That would have been clear, and you could have quickly moved on to another target. That was like a prolonged step. Daniel Levy is not an easy person to deal with, and I've seen other Tottenham fans say, is the pros versus the cons of losing Harry Kane? Yes, you get he's an older player. He not super duper happy at the club, wants to win some silverware. But is that those pros of getting 150 mil, hopefully, or more, depending on Daniel Levy, you never know. Does that outweigh the output? Can you replace the amount of goals Harry Kane would score for Tottenham versus the amount of money you would get for him? Plus, as well, the whole bargaining chip of his old agent, his brother, and the 3 year, the 3 years that he had left on his contract, combined with the whole verbal handshake, verbal conversation of if you get the money, you leave. That is has no contractual obligations to actually be withheld whatsoever. Yeah, it was just a recipe of disaster. And I feel like as it went on, Pep and the higher ups at Man City were just like, okay, if you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. Fine, cool. I think it got to that point.
Yeah, and the worst part, as you say, you just didn't leave enough time for you guys. However, right at the end, bad boy Cristiano Ronaldo's name was thrown around. I mean, I honestly swear to you, I thought he was moving to City at one point. I didn't even know there was Man United was coming in, because the way Fabrizio Romano was just building it up, and it felt like City, it was done and dusted. He was going to be signed for City. And then out of nowhere, RKO, Randy Orton, you know what I mean? Man United just comes out of it, snaps that up, and then all of a sudden, Ronaldo changes the tune that it was never going to be Man City. I mean, were you ever thinking, Saj, this was happening? Or
the entire time? No, because to the point where on the day that Ronaldo signed for, I thought, okay, so I'm on the day Ronaldo signed for United, I went to sleep around 1 p.m. I took a nap at 1 p.m. thinking that, I was gloating in the morning on Twitter. We've got Ronaldo. It's confirmed.
I'm gonna buy the jersey. I'm gonna show it up on Matisa's show.
We could go to United and just flex forever, and we stole your legend and all sorts. And then, bam, took a nap. Woke up around 3-4. Matisse sends me a message. I'm like, hey, what does this mean? What's going on? He's like, oh, do you want to make a skit on what just happened? I was like, what just happened? Go on Twitter. Ronaldo signed for Man United.
Incredible.
I'm so I've never been so certain of a transfer to happen that never happened. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, damn, man, that's just rough. It's just rough, really.
I've even done streams maybe a few hours before he signed for Man United that it's done and dusted with Man City. And then I look like a fool that he's ended up being at Man United, but it is what it is. Let's now talk about this season. You guys didn't get a striker. You start the season off with a loss against Spurs. Now, Spurs they look bad, right? I mean, they got Nuno, who was probably their 6th or 7th choice. Let's be honest, Nuno wasn't even in their target, right? I mean, we'll get on to the consequent matches after, because you guys did well. I believe you guys beat Norwich and Arsenal.
We beat Norwich and Arsenal 5-0.
Yeah. You guys smashed both of those teams, especially Arsenal. Wow, I watched that game. You guys absolutely sliced them open. But, Saj, did you expect that Spurs were going to come out with a sneaky 1-0 that first game? I mean, how was the mood at the end of that? Did it feel like, is it going to be one of those slow starts like last season, and hopefully we pick up? What was the mood?
Okay, so I was really excited because Harry Kane wasn't playing, so I was like, okay, cool. That main threat isn't on the field. We can go on and do things. And Jack Grealish's debut, a lot of things was going on, and I think it was just players trying to congeal together. It's a different way of playing. Again, we're playing with this false 9, but now we don't have certain players that we had for last season for Aguero, for instance, and new players have come in and we're still trying to figure it out. And I really thought we would go on and do something in that game. And as it just went on longer, I was like, it just kept going on longer and longer. And then I was like, okay, cool, we'll do something. And then just out of nowhere, Song just scored a goal. And I was like, wait, what? And then they kind of just once Tottenham got the goal, they kind of just kept it back, kept their team really, really deep, and we just couldn't break it down. And then it finished, and I was like, okay, game 1, fine, I'm gonna let it go. We're learning to play together again. Cool. Cool, fine, it's fine.
Look, you know what? After that, you guys actually did pretty well. I want to talk about this first thing now. This false nine. I watched the match against Arsenal. Ferran Torres was playing false nine. I don't remember exactly who played up front for you guys against Norwich.
I'll
But
put it up.
Ferran, yeah, fine. While you do that, I'll just continue on. But yeah, Ferran Torres against Arsenal played that false nine really well, and since then, obviously, you guys have been okay. Obviously, recently played Southampton, and again, it went kind of pear shaped, 0-0 draw, and Southampton actually did very well. But Sash, I mean, are you okay with the false nine? Sometimes Ferran Torres does really well. I think at times Sterling plays in that position where you obviously. Yeah.
So that game, it was Fernan Torres, Gabriel Jesus on the right, and Grealish on the left.
Yeah. So it looks like Torres is trying to play that particular role. I mean, as I said, he looks fine at times. He knows exactly what's going on. At times, then you have these results like Southampton, which makes it very frustrating. I want to ask you, I mean, I know it is what it is at the moment. You can't really do much about it. But are you okay for the timing and then probably reassess in January to see? I mean, do you guys badly need a striker, or you kind of believe in this false nine?
I don't believe in the false nine. I've never been the biggest fan of it. I mean, you want to win the league again. You want to win the league, you sign a striker. United, you want to win the league, you sign a proven striker. Yeah. You need this idea that you don't need strikers. No, the game is not going in this direction. It's just not. We wanted a striker. We tried to sign a striker. We didn't get a striker. That is okay. Pep did say from last season that Gabriel Jesus and Fernan Torres would be given more of a chance as striker once Aguero left the club. I did think Gabriel Jesus would play in the middle of the park a lot more. So the fact that he's not, and Fernan Torres has been given the green light to try and go ahead, he's good. He's very technical. He's fast. He is quite cerebral with his movement. His finishing is to be desired, but that is okay. He's young. He's trying to come through, and I'm gonna say this. I'm prefacing the fact that we didn't sign a striker this year on the sweepstakes of the summer window next year, because there are some
quite a lot of Haaland, Mbappe, they're all in the market.
Lewandowski even.
Yes.
And I'm thinking that the Man City higher ups were like, okay, and even Harry Kane, maybe we can go back in for him. His contract's going to be he's going to be a year older. Contract's going to be a year down.
Do you guys see yourself going back for Harry Kane?
I don't personally, but you never know. And the way things have maneuvered around is a very interesting thing, because now Chelsea have a striker, so you lot aren't looking for a striker. United have a striker, so they're not really going to be looking for the next year or two for a main striker. So that leaves some space where even if Haaland goes to Bayern, for instance, Man City could get Lewandowski maybe, or if maybe Mbappe can't afford to go to Real Madrid, for instance, maybe something happens there. I'm not too sure what this contractual situation is. He could end up signing for Man City maybe, and I think this is what's the preface. Or we could even sign Haaland. Why not? And I think this is what's that Man City higher ups are thinking about.
There's options, and you guys have put yourself in a good position to be the front runners of whatever options that pop up, because you guys badly need a striker. This is what you've been talking about. Let's talk a little bit about Pep Guardiola. I feel like this man is a bit agitated this season. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit. It's got to a point, Saj, where I remember this is how it was. The final sort of the end game period when he was in Bayern, the end game period when he was in Barcelona. There was a story earlier on this season where he apparently was quoted to say that he can picture himself this being the last one, or the next season being the last one. Then he wants to take a bit of break. So then, obviously there's the whole thing. Oh my God, what's Man City going to do without Pep Guardiola? Do you know what I mean? What next? And then in recent times, he looks very agitated in the press conference in regards to your fans. I mean, I do want to talk about this a little bit, because it's become a bit of a meme at the moment. And I don't want to play around with the meme. I just want to get to the bottom of it. All these rival fans continue to mock you guys about, your stadium's never filled. Your stadiums are never filled. And recently, even Pep Guardiola said to everyone, why don't you guys come down to the stadium and watch the game and whatnot? I mean, talk to me about this whole thing. Do you feel Pep Guardiola is a bit on the edge at the moment, or what's going on?
Maintaining a very, very high level of expectation on yourself and exceptional standards is very hard. And year on year, Pep is automatically, just like Tuchel is now, just like Jurgen Klopp is automatically pitted to win stuff.
Yeah.
And to constantly win stuff. And more importantly than just constantly win stuff, win the one thing that he hasn't been able to do at his last two jobs, which is the Champions League. And it comes a time where you're like, okay, I've been here 4 years, I've been here 5 years, and I'm trying to do this thing, and I'm like, I'm working, and I'm not getting the love that I feel like I deserve, and it just all bubbles up. And even Pep saying, "Oh, come to the stadium, we need more support," and then people saying, "No, leave us alone, we don't care about you." Someone in our Man City supporters group said that, and it's just like, you know, when you're overworked and underappreciated, and it's just to the point where I'm like, I could do with 2 years in Spain. That's how Pep is feeling. I understand, and I hope that he finds himself also not getting what he wanted.
I was just gonna say he's always been a manager at City, especially getting what he wants. Generally, I want a right back, I want a centre back, I want this, I want that. Boom, you know, Sheikh Mansour just gets those things ready for him. This time, it's not the case. So I mean, that would have agitated him a little bit as well. The fact that you guys didn't get a striker.
Weirdly, because Pep did something that he never normally did when it comes to signing players. He mentioned Harry Kane in interviews by name whilst trying to sign him. Pep doesn't normally do that. Pep's normally like, if we sign him, we sign him. If we don't, we don't. Cool. He was actively going out of his way to say Harry Kane. If Tottenham want to do a deal, we'll do a deal. We would love the player. He's a great player. He's a wonderful player. So on and so forth. And it's just like, I think Pep really, really wanted Harry Kane. And the fact that he's having to go into this season again without a striker, you might feel undermanned, like in Pacific utility men in certain positions, obviously star utility players within like the realm of Harry Kane. But yeah, you might just be like, I barely did it last year. I scraped it through last year. I can't do it again.
You're right, man. Last year it was a bit of a revelation in terms of no striker and still go out there and win the Premier League title and do it with style as well. You guys just want fire from that December to that end of January period to almost even midway till February. You guys, 23 games unbeaten or something like that?
It was ridiculous.
And no draws either. It was just bang on wins after wins after wins. Gundogan was on fire. It was amazing, and I'm pretty sure I can understand why Pep may think, look, that ain't gonna happen on a season to season basis. No. Like, we need to do something about it. Okay, let's talk about this match now. All right, here we are, Premier League game, Stamford Bridge, Chelsea versus Manchester City. Chelsea got the swagger, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the swagger. European champions, super European champions with the Super Cup victory as well. I mean, I'll give you my perspective, and I want to hear what you have to say about this. I don't feel like we've been playing our best. I don't think we've played our best at all so far this season. We've played quite a few games already this particular season, but I don't think we have done 100% performance anywhere. Crystal Palace, some people can say, we've absolutely smoked them, but I think we were in second gear, nowhere near third or fourth gear. We could go for a few more gears if we really wanted to. But the thing is, Saj, we've been winning games. Like, even when we're not playing well, we're winning games. So here we are, and I don't want to be cocky. I'm confident, man. I'm confident of taking you guys. So I want to hear from you. I 100% respect Man City. There's no doubt about that because you guys are a dangerous team. You guys have pasted us in previous times as well. But not only we've got your number, but I feel like tactically, Mr. Tuchel is gone inside Pep's head. I mean, what do you think?
Okay, so to say that Chelsea haven't been their best this season, you haven't. Your defense and Big Romelu Lukaku have been pulling it out of the bag. They really have. Your attacking central attacking midfielder. That situation, the players behind Lukaku have been very hit and miss this season. Really, really so. And
man, I think they've been poor, man.
That's an understatement. I'm being polite because I speak to Matisse and he's just like, who's gonna step up? Is Havertz gonna step up? Is Werner gonna step up? Who's gonna step up? Who's gonna do? Pulisic's been injured. Sayul's taken a lot longer to adapt to the Premier League than we really thought. This is not La Liga. We play faster football. You really need to speed up. But Lukaku's just been doing it. He's in the right places at the right times. He's motivated. Sometimes he looks like a one-man wrecking machine where he's like, all right, cool. If I got to back up on the defenders, get the ball, spin, and do it myself, I'll do it. If I need to header, I'll do it. I'll do whatever. And then your defense is very solid. It's a shame Mendy's injured. And yeah, 3 losses in 1 year has humbled me.
It stopped you from talking it up, because I remember
if you see the last time that we did this, there was a lot more. There was a lot more panache.
There was a lot more energy. Yeah, there was a lot more energy.
Yeah, very much so. But I do believe that we will win this, and there's a reason why.
Wow.
I have to. Pep can't let. Sleeping dogs won't lie here. Pep needs this. I know Pep's going to be motivated for this because people are talking. I bet you they're all the managers in the WhatsApp group.
I mean, 4 back-to-back would would psychologically hurt Pep.
And I don't think Pep's going to let this one slide. This is our rivalry this season in terms of management. Pep and Tuchel, because it hurt. I know that hurt Pep because Pep. I can imagine first time in the league. Pep's like, FA Cup. Pep's like, all right, cool, fine. Then the league. Pep's like, oh, okay. And Pep really thought he would run it back in the Champions League final. And the third time in one season.
Yeah, that hurt.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. I want to ask you though, Saj. 3 times last season, he mixed and matched a lot. There was once where he played with a double pivot. There was once where he played with a single pivot. And then there was once where he played Gundogan in a pivot where he gave his explanation. He said that he wanted Gundogan to be the free man. He wanted Gundogan on the ball. He's very good on the ball. And he didn't play with either Rodri or Fernandinho. Now, how do you expect Pep to tackle this? Because let's be honest, we're most likely going to revert back to our 3 at the back. Obviously, we did a little bit of madness for the first 15 to 20 minutes against Villa, where we played 4 at the back, and we just got so exposed against Villa. And then we quickly reverted back to the 3. And then again, we didn't play with our strongest team. So if we ever wanted to try that 4 at the back, we need to play our strong team to ensure that, we carry that formation with some sort of merit. But you can expect how we're going to play. 3 at the back, wing backs, possibly 3 in midfield with 2 up front with Lukaku and Timo Werner, because as we've already said, the other sort of inside forwards are still picking up their form. They're not at their best at the moment. Werner scored, Lukaku has been scoring, and the 3 in midfield, Kante, Jorginho and Kovacic have been looking extremely well. So you could possibly expect that is what's going to happen. Generally, as I said, the wing back play. I mean, how does Pep tackle this knowing I know what Chelsea. Why do Chelsea play so good? They play wide. So compact in the middle, so close. It's that classic Pep Guardiola talk that he does at Matisse, how he mimics him on a regular basis. I mean, Saj, what are you expecting? How's Pep going to tackle this game? False 9 again and all that.
It's going to have to be false 9. We've got injuries as well. Plus, this season we've mixed and mastered quite a few times. Our attacking options, and even to extent some of our midfielders, it's kind of hard because Kevin De Bruyne is coming back from the injury, trying to gain his minutes. Foden's trying to gain some more minutes as well. We have injuries in Cancelo, we have injuries in John Stones. But we have had every single game this season. We've had 60% possession or higher, so we have been very possession heavy. It's just I don't even know. Bernardo Silva, for instance, he's been playing. He looked like he was going to leave during the last window, and he started 4 games this season. So it's kind of hard for me to call, because when it comes to you lot, you're so narrow. Your midfield is the problem for us. Like we can penetrate your defense and get opportunities, but then even if we do get those opportunities, do we have the players necessary to finish? That's a bit of an issue.
And that was the issue against Southampton. I feel
Mhm.
you guys ended up being a draw, and that would have taken a bit of hit on the title chase, which looks like going to be very very close with Liverpool, Man United, us, so closely bunched together. I mean, Sash, I want to ask before we go to the team selection to wrap
Mhm.
things up. How important? I mean, if you were to lose this, let's just say, I mean, I believe we're going to win. You believe you guys are going to win, but if you were to drop points here and let's say you lose, is that takes a big dent, or do you think no? You know what? It's still early in the days. We'll see what happens. A loss at Stamford Bridge against European champions is not the end of the world. We move again, or do you feel,
No,
ooh, this
no,
title challenge?
no. It's a big deal. This is a big game.
Yeah,
Why? Because embarrassments can't just lie. One, but two, more importantly, there, in my opinion, is 4 teams that can win this Premier League season: Man
yeah,
City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and United, of course.
yeah.
Sorry. So yeah.
You hate them so much you don't want to take their name.
The pain. But yeah. So I think beating a top contender in the Premier League is
Yeah.
a huge momentum boost, more than normal, because we're gonna have to do this against three
These are
other
the ones that
teams.
you need to do
Yes.
well if you want to challenge for the title. Yeah.
Yeah, and just for the momentum of the team to
Mm.
know that we can bounce back from multiple defeats. Like
Mm.
last season was a lot of trauma, and we need to go out there and prove that we can possibly come back and show what we can do.
100%. I absolutely understand, man. Let's get straight into this. I want to see what your team is before we wrap things up here. I mean, do you expect you guys to go three at the back and match us, or do you
Nah, we're gonna
expect
go for we're
yourself
gonna
to
go
play
we're gonna
your game?
we're gonna go for it at the back. It's what we've been doing this season. I do not see Pep changing it at any point.
Fair enough. Let's lock this up. Edison, yeah,
Of course.
goalkeeper. Who's your two CBs?
My two CBs is Ake because of course we have injuries in Stones and also Ruben Diaz, of course.
I'm hearing you guys are a little bit annoyed with Ake. He hasn't really been done well. I mean, just quickly on that, there was a lot of some parts of our fan base were very devastated when we didn't recall Ake back, and obviously he ended up going to City. But I've always maintained that he's all right, but he's just not supreme quality. I mean, is that what it is at the moment with City?
He's okay. He doesn't trek back as well as you would think.
Mm.
He and sometimes you can find him out of position.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel like that's why Diaz needs to be in his ear constantly, positioning him, telling him where to be. But I do believe that this is why I do believe that John Stones is a much better fit because those two work better. Ake can be caught offside, or he can get caught napping, and if he does against, like, say Lukaku, say he's close to the halfway line, and Lukaku can catch the break on him. This is a fear of mine.
Yeah.
It really is, because
Yeah.
he's not the fastest to get back. He really isn't.
No, you're right. You're right. There are times I've seen Ake just out of position. Just quickly, what's the case with Laporte? Where is he?
Injured.
He's injured.
Or he has a
Okay.
knock. If I'm correct.
Yeah, fair enough.
Groin injury. If I'm correct. Yeah, I pulled it up here. He's got a
Fair
groin
enough.
injury. Yeah.
Fair enough, man. Okay, who's your left back? I mean, is it going to be Zinchenko? By the way, what's the case with Mendy? Is that brother finished at Man City?
I will talk as if I am an employee of Man City. As we have at this moment in time, Mendy is still an employed employee of Man City, pending suspension. That is all we have to say right now. No comment.
That's it. That's his career is done, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say.
It's locking.
It's finished for City, for Mendy. I mean, so Zinchenko here.
No, Cancelo. No.
Cancelo. Okay.
He's been good this season.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I think Zinchenko is a very good player as well. Man.
He is a very underrated, very good player.
Very underrated, actually. And Pep's done a fantastic job in sort of molding him to the level that he is. Kyle Walker.
Of course.
His brother's a bit erratic at times, though. I feel I heard something recently, Big Steve say that at times he gives the opposition a 10-yard start so he can chase them down, like a crazy beast. I mean, what is up with this guy? Is he feeling
to do what he does? I find him great. I think he's effective. He can play bully ball when he needs to. He will run back. He will chase a ball down. I love him. He'll make a tackle most of the time, which are good. So I love him. I got love
He's a
for
good
him.
player. He's a good player. He's a quality player. There's no doubt about that. Okay. You playing with the lone DM or are you playing with the double pivot?
I'm playing with a lone DM.
Okay. Who's your
It's
guy?
gonna have to be Fernandinho because Gundogan has picked up a knock as well.
Oh wow, that's a
There's
good
a
one for
doubt
us.
there's a doubt he's gonna play.
Okay, Fernandinho, and on the right's the 2-8s.
On the right would be Kevin De Bruyne. Sorry, Silva on the left, Kevin De Bruyne on the right.
Yeah.
And KDB, he's getting back up to speed now. Took the knock. Silva has kind of been a revelation. He's didn't look like he was going to play for Man
he
City.
was so close to leaving. He was the name that was getting touted around that he was going to leave. But I feel like it's one of those ones, right, Sash, that, oh, you want to let go of me. You don't value me. I'm going to show you exactly what I bring to the plate. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, he is.
And KDB, I feel like he's got a score to settle. I think he'll be looking forward to this game. Obviously, the Champions League match. Which we won't get into the debate of what happened between him and Rudiger. I know you think Rudiger did it purposely. I don't think he did, but that's a separate conversation. We'll be
for another time. We'll leave that there.
We'll leave that. Okay. Ferran Torres up front as the false nine?
Yes. Still got to be. He's still trying to do his thing, still learning the trade.
This is the interesting part. Who you got on the right and who you got on the left?
I've got I'm gonna on the right. I was gonna give it to Mahrez, but I'll say Gabriel Jesus, just because he needs more game time.
You're not giving Mahrez an opportunity, yeah?
Mahrez played the full 90 in the week.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. In the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup, yeah. And then even here, I want to give it to Foden, but I'm gonna say Jackie G. He's been great this season.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. How am I forgetting Grealish? By the way, how's the fan base taking to Grealish, man? I mean, he looks good, man. He just brings that flair. I mean, you guys have so much flair anyway, but he's just got this other different sort of flair. But there was a footage recently where Pep Guardiola on the sidelines just giving it to Grealish, giving it to can't remember who the other player was, but yeah, he just grabs onto Grealish and just giving it. I mean, how's the fan base feeling about Grealish, man?
Oh, Grealish is just getting better game by game. From what I see on socials, because obviously I'm not in Manchester. Yeah, they absolutely love. He's just getting better game by game. Because at the start it was a bit rocky, and then obviously the rival fans were gonna put a big mock on him and think that he wasn't that good and overrated. But game by game, he's showing his technical ability. I think he just needed time to be able to find players that he could gel with. And also understand because remember, he was the best player at Aston Villa to go and not to be one of the best players at Man City. He has to learn how Man City play because now he's around great talent. He just needed time to gel. And
he's not like the star boy. He's not the star man. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of star people.
A star man, but not the star man. No.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. This team looks pretty dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. Edison at the back, goalkeeper, Eke, Diaz, Walker, Cancelo, Fernandinho as the lone DM, Bernardo Silva, KDB, Jesus up front with Grealish and Torres as the false nine. Before we wrap things up, a couple of quick questions. Sterling, what's the case? Looks like, he's not really a natural starter anymore. Gets those minutes off the bench. Sometimes he starts, sometimes he doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of speculation about his career as well in Man City. What's going on? Well, what's the latest?
I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I think just there's going to be so much rotation this season that people are just going to have to handle it. My big concern, even more so than Sterling, which is a concern because he's in his prime, he's going to want to play games, and we need to. Pep needs to find a way to accommodate that. My bigger concern is Phil Foden and his progression this season because he is not starting in the Premier League, and I'm not sure why. At first, I thought maybe it's because he was not fit or fatigue from the Euros, maybe, and I thought that's what it was. But now that we're going further, he's not. He played in midweek, but he's not starting in the Premier League, and I'm afraid that this could stunt his growth.
You guys have such depth, man. That's the thing. You brought in Grealish, which fair enough, but I feel like that's where Foden plays, doesn't he?
Yeah,
where Grealish plays. So it's going to be so difficult to say to Grealish, well, you're not going to play. But we'll see what happens. It is a long season. Injuries are going to happen. Form is going to dip and go up and whatnot. So we'll see. Foden, for me, honestly, I don't want to praise too many Man City players, but Foden is one I love watching, man. He's just so
great.
So much guile, so much elegance in his play, and he's quick, he's robust as well, and his technicality, finishing is all top notch, man.
He was amazing against
supreme.
Wickham in the middle of the week.
Midweek.
Scored one, assisted two. He was elegant. His way of passing is getting so much better as well. I do have to say. Yeah.
Just quickly, obviously the final score, and I just thought about a quick question in my head: Foden or Greenwood? Who's the who's got that ceiling? Do you think that's going to reach to the top? I mean, obviously Foden's playing for England.
I'm surprised Mount. You didn't bring Mount into this.
Well, I feel like Mount doesn't really play where they kind of play. I feel like Mount is more of a inside forward midfielder, not really what they do. So that's why I didn't bring in Mount. But yeah, Foden and Greenwood, two, Manchester City and Man United boys.
They're nice. They're nice. Too early to see. Because Greenwood's getting more minutes now, which is and he's starting to prove his worth. So yeah, no comment. We will see. Only time will tell. I'll leave it there.
They're fantastic talents. There's no doubt about that. Score prediction, my man.
This might sound controversial. 2-2.
2-2. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Do you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I'll take a draw. But I'm expecting that we could possibly get a win here. As long as we don't lose against you guys at home, for us, I'll be absolutely happy. Saj, thank you so much for your time, my man. I know you've got Oil Bows coming up just around the corner.
All good, dude.
Hope Matisse can, he normally rocks up late anyway.
Matisse is always late. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this. You didn't have to have me, man. Appreciate it.
As soon as I saw this fixture list from the get-go, I was like, yep, Saj, I'm talking to him about this. And hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have enjoyed this premiere. And please check out Saj and his socials in the description. Follow him on Instagram. Follow him on Twitter. I don't think he's too busy on Twitter, but Instagram, follow him there. And he goes live. Sometimes he even steals Matisse's logins and goes live on Matisse's login. So you can check that out. But I hope you've enjoyed this stream. This is part 1 of the preview for the upcoming match between Chelsea versus Man City. The Man City perspective, as you guys have got here, we'll give you the Chelsea perspective straight after the press conference where we go live stream with Dan and Ishan. As I said, hope you've enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Until next time, see ya.